What's up, everybody? Nice to see everybody in the chat. This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob, and I'm here with my buddy Scott from the Scotch Test Dummies. Scott, why don't you say hello?
That's right. Hello, everybody. Scott from the Scotch Test Dummies.
Nice to see everybody in the chat. Sorry about that. Go ahead. You do that again.
Yeah, Scott from the Scotch Test Dummies. I think some people know me, not everybody, but glad to be here with Rob.
Yeah, I'm glad you came. So we arranged for a little blind testing. One of my friends on your side of the border got some samples to you, and one of your friends on this side of the border got some samples to me, and we managed to exchange some hats in the process.
That's right. It's a good looking hat too.
I'm actually matching tonight. I got the Whiskey in the Six sweater, inspired by Tom R. Actually, I got a Whiskey in the Six t-shirt made for him with a yellow 6, and I'm like, hey, maybe I'll make a sweater like that. So I decided to do that, and I got my nice Scotch Test Dummies. I actually want to buy a helmet like this. Can we get those made? Can we get like a Scotch Test Dummies helmet, like a gladiator helmet?
And I'll put that on Bort's to-do list.
I would love that. That would be awesome. I think it would go really well with the beard.
That would be good, actually. We'd probably sell like 3 of them. One to you and one to Bart and one to me.
That's it. I'll rock it. Like my kids, I'll bring it to school some days, and my students will look at me like, "What the heck's going on?" Yeah. Someone said this is Sparta in the chat.
Hey, let's not hit everybody up, but let's kind of let them know one thing that's happened recently with if everybody watched Bubba and the Beard branched off. They broke up, and the Beard branched off, was doing his own reviews under the Getting Weird with the Beard. And you want to go ahead and call out that super chat, Rob?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say thank you to Bobby. Thank you very much, buddy. Really appreciate the super chat. Cheers, brother.
But just a couple weeks ago, the Beard, or Lloyd, lost his house to fire. The whole thing went up. I guess the only thing he had left was he kept all of his underwear in his truck for some reason. I don't know why. So he still has his underwear, but that's it. And us whiskey tubers were talking about how to help Lloyd out. And he doesn't want – he's real humble. He doesn't want to ask for help. You know, he doesn't – I mean, I don't know. He ask.
He doesn't want to ask. That's exactly what you just said. He doesn't feel comfortable asking for money, but he can use a little bit of help. I think we're all trying to help out. It would be awesome if any of you guys can help out. Scott's got the PayPal email that you guys can do that if you get a chance.
If you guys want to help Lloyd out, just PayPal him is the easiest way to do it. The dummies sent him a PayPal donation today. I know, Rob, you did as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Several of us in the Whiskey Tube have already PayPal'd some money to Lloyd to help him out. But his PayPal address is lfink27@gmail.com. Yeah. So, and then we'll also this is what, March 20th of 2017. So if you're watching this, or 2018, yeah. if you're watching this, you know, a year from now, he's probably, hopefully settled back down. But if you'd like to help Lloyd out, he's taking PayPal donations, lloydfink27@gmail.com. I'm sure he'd appreciate all the help he can get.
Yeah, and then while you guys are at it, you can subscribe to his channel as well and watch some of his videos and get him up to 1,000 subs so that we can start getting him some revenue as well. Yeah, it's a terrible thing that happened to him, and for a while I was asking because I could tell something was up. He wasn't posting videos, and he wasn't, like, you know, overly talkative in any of the chats that we have going on, and I knew something was up. So I've been asking him, and he said he would talk to me about it when he was ready, and I left it at that. And then recently I found out about the fire, and I was pretty devastated because I can just imagine what that would be like, and I hope I never have to actually experience something like that. But my heart goes out to the poor guy. So, and he's been through a lot this year, to say the least.
Yeah. In fact, as someone is asking, from what I understand, his whole house was burnt down. The only whatever he had in his truck literally is whatever he's got. So I think he had what clothes he was wearing and his cell phone. So his whiskey, I mean, all of his computer, everything, you know, all of his memories, everything from his life is gone.
Yeah.
His YouTube name, Srirachi, is Getting Weird with the Beard. So it was Whisk or Bubba and the Beard, and then they split up, and Beard decided to keep doing reviews on his own, so he just renamed the channel Getting Weird with the Beard. But he carried over from Bubba and the Beard's subs.
Well, if he tunes in, he'll probably be pretty angry at us for talking about it for so long, because he's that kind of guy. He wants the show to go on. So yeah, I feel like we both said, if you guys can do whatever you can, he will appreciate it, and the whiskey community will appreciate it. I'm gonna pour out sample number 1 over here. I don't know. Did you already pour out on your side?
Yes. Now, and what we're going to do is I've got my sample number 1 that Rob sent me. I'm going to minimize my chat so I won't be able to see what you guys are saying. Rob is going to chat out what sample number 1 is for me. And then I'll go through, give it some nosing and some tasting notes. Hopefully they're halfway correct. And then Rob will do his first sample, and I'll let you guys know what it is, and he won't be able to see.
All right. So you want to go first?
Yep.
All right. So you're gonna minimize your chat, you said, right?
It's minimized.
All right. So I'm gonna type in number 1 in the chat. So each one of yours is labeled with a number on it, correct?
Yes. 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. So I'm gonna type in. Should I type in just 1 and then we'll go back and forth, or should I do all 3?
Just type in what the first one is for now, and I'll be right back in a second.
All right. So I'm typing in the first one over here. I'm not going to say it out loud for obvious reasons. And it's hard to talk and type at the same time, so I apologize.
Don't say it out loud as you're typing it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying not to do. All right. So it's in the chat. What do you get on the nose?
Grassiness. Maltiness. Maybe I'm kind of plugged up a little bit. Other than that, that's about it.
Really? Interesting. So are we getting an idea of what kind of whiskey this is?
Not yet, no.
So honestly, I don't know about you, but I find these blind tastings really fun, because it's rare that we get the opportunity to taste something without any preconceived notions. You know what I mean? And
yeah. Let me go. I'm just going in for a little sip.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm not getting too much. I'm really not getting too much on the nose to be able to tell you.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly shout out a bunch of people in the chat over here, because there's quite a few joined us. 46 so far. Let's say hello to Daniel Whiskey Throttle, Chris Santa Cruzin. What's up, brother? George Kaplan, sorry. Eric Wade, Swami from Malta to Montreal, Claire the Third. What's up, brother? Srirachi Ace, Travis Faircloth. What's up, brother? Juan Posada, Dwayne, how's it going, buddy? My Bourbon Journey, what's up? Mark Broda from the Scotch for Dummies. What's up, what's up, buddy? And I'm guessing. Oh no, that's. Did I miss anybody? Greg, what's up? Got a whole bunch of people in tonight. And a bunch of them are talking Matt Gamble, and then Bourbon Shenanigans. Awesome. So what are we thinking? What do you think that is right there? What are you drinking tonight? That's a tough one. I'm gonna give you that. That's probably the toughest of the three, I would say.
It's strong. It's got a high ABV.
Yep, you're correct about that.
It's rich. I'm leaning bourbon, cinnamons, caramels, vanillas. Oak. It's a little older. I mean, at least 12 years.
Interesting. Peter White's in the house. What's up, brother? Go Habs. Hey, buddy.
It's pretty good.
Daniel's asking me if he sees gray hair in this beard. Yes. See, I don't dye this beard after all. There's a ton of gray hair on the chin. I'm getting old, guys.
Wait till I grow my beard out someday. You'll see what a gray beard looks like.
What do you think of it so far?
There's some honey.
What do you think of the quality? Are you enjoying it? Is it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Very high ABV, rich, a little bit older, dusty, little astringent, oak, cinnamons, caramels, vanillas.
Which is that, Mike Highfield? Maybe one of the Scotch, the fifth Scotch for Dummy.
These bourbon shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Okay, that's what. Okay, I was thinking that was him. Aaron Smith's in the house. What's up, brother? Also, Blind Whiskey Reviews. Hey, buddy. That's a pretty cool channel. You guys should check him out as well. Subscribe. Scott is doing well so far. Yeah, they're thinking you're doing well so far. Honestly, I'm gonna pull a Ron Burgundy. Someone's gonna put the answer in the chat, and I'm gonna read it out loud, like the teleprompter in Anchorman. Peter, this bottle is coming to you very soon. For the record, I'm leaving you a little bit more than half because I went through it a little too quickly. That fits in the house. That's awesome.
It got me at first. I was warming up my palate. I had a little Oban Little Bay, just because it's nice and citrusy, nothing really influenced. And I was expecting a Scotch at first, and even the first sip, I was like, okay, wow, what is it? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where I'm going. I don't think I'll get too many more notes sitting here.
All right. Tom R., what's up, brother? David, how's it going, buddy? Connor, how's it going? Sneerson's in the house. We're picking up now. We got about 58 in the chat. Food Quig, what's going on, Quig? Gotta love these live chats, man. They pick up really quick. Are enjoying them. I love them. So, do you have a final answer, or you want to wait on that one for a little bit?
Like, what you want me to guess what it is? I mean, it's a. I mean,
really well. I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, I had everything that you said. I thought you would say. Believe it or not, if that makes any sense. Okay. And when I do the review of this whiskey, I'm gonna describe it in a very similar way because it drinks like a bourbon. It seems like it's a bourbon. It's actually not, though. It's the Cavalon X Bourbon.
Huh.
So this is exclusively given to the Cavafan group, the VIP North American Cavafan group. I was lucky enough to buy one of these. It's bottled at 55.6%, so you were bang on there. All right. And honestly, when I drank this, I'm like, oh my God, this tastes like a bourbon. Like this, like this literally, this single malt stripped every bit of that bourbon cask. I wonder what they use, and I wonder if they even emptied it properly to like, because I don't know what the regulations are for Asian whiskey, right? Like they can essentially just dump it and then pour single malt inside, and we would never know the difference, right? So
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, that explains the kind of the maltiness or just the grassiness on the nose, but then the palate is definitely. I was thinking maybe that was your the BTAC Weller.
Okay.
Yeah. Something along those lines, or a stronger ABV bourbon.
Yeah, honestly, I think, and it's great that you mentioned that, because I think it's incredible. I think it's fantastic stuff. So to compare it to that BTAC Weller, that's pretty impressive.
If I mean scoring it off of the sample here, I'd go, it's like a 92, 93, somewhere in my range there.
Yeah.
Low to mid 90s.
I would agree with that for sure. I definitely would agree with that.
Okay, so now minimize your chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna minimize mine.
Show me the bottle real quick, just so I make sure I remember which one I sent you.
So this is the sample one. It's got a C on it, if that means anything to you. Hopefully it focuses.
An A or a C?
It says C on it, and then it's got a dot at the bottom.
Oh, that's one of Aquavitae's bottles.
Okay. So, yeah, sample number 1, and it says C on it.
Did you minimize your chat?
No, yeah, don't type it. Give me a sec. 1 sec. Sorry. All right, we're good. We are minimized. Hopefully, the guys are noticing a little bit better quality in the live tonight. I went out and borrowed a computer. Technically, it's mine, but technically it's not. It's a work computer. So, yeah, that's what I'm using tonight. I'm going to start nosing this. Right off the hop, I smell sherry for sure. If I had to guess on the nose, it's hard to tell. Like, I find it's difficult to tell higher ABV sherried whiskeys on the nose. Like you can notice it as soon as you taste it, but from smelling it, I feel like it's possible that this is a higher ABV, but I'm not sure. Man, it smells like something I should be very familiar with too.
Well, I knew I had to send you something sherry based.
Yeah.
So I think we're both big sherry fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's got a beautiful nose, that's for sure. Man. Okay. I'm going to say it's like a Highland Speyside type, but I could be wrong, obviously.
Travis asked me a question here. I got to answer. That's a tough one too.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going to say it's between 46 and 50% ABV. Maybe 46 on the dot. I don't feel like I need water, but I'm kind of immune to high ABVs these days, so it's...
I never even added water to your sample number 1. I better add a little splash to that and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was drinking that neat, and it was pretty good.
So I've never tasted a blend that's sherried, which is maybe a disadvantage. And this is what happens when I start to think of what you might be sending me. But I don't want to say it's a blend. And if it is a blend, it's a malted blend, like a single malt, or not single malt, sorry, a blended malt.
I'd say, well, My Bourbon Journey is watching, and Blind Whiskey Reviews is watching, and they're talking. They said we stole their idea because they were talking about doing this same thing.
Oh, really?
And they're both great channels. My Bourbon Journey is Scott, If you haven't checked him out, go give him a look. He does a great job.
Yeah, he's really good. I like him a lot. And he's got a lot of great bourbon. He does.
Yeah.
And same, I really like blind whiskey reviews as well. He does a good job.
Yep, John, and he's brand new. I mean, he's 5 or 6 videos are up now, but he's doing a great job as well. Of course, Whiskey Throttle, he started a channel now. Yeah,
Daniel Whiskey Throttle. He's I think he's smoked us all in the first 7 days. He has already almost 100 subscribers or something like that. Okay, so this is definitely sherry based. I don't think it's a higher ABV than 46%. It's got like a minerality to it that makes me think it might be a Balvenie or like a Knock or something like that. Maybe even a Balblair. But then again, it could be like I'm not familiar with all the Compass Box stuff, and I know that you really like those guys, so it could be something from Compass Box that's heavily sherried, like I believe the General or something like that. Am I wrong about the General? Is the General heavily sherried?
The General is kind of sherry finished.
Okay.
A hint.
It's missing something for me to say it's Balvenie. This is a tough one. Okay, so am I right in saying that it's a Scotch around 46%?
Yeah, you're pretty close. Yeah, it's a Scotch, and you're close on the ABV.
It's like 48?
49.
Oh, okay. 49. Interesting. That should be a good clue. It's delicious. I'm not sure what it is, but it's absolutely delicious.
Yeah, I was really impressed with it. I didn't regret that purchase at all.
Yeah. I feel like it could be coastal, just because there's like not a brininess, but like almost like a minerality note to it.
I'm still finishing off your the Cavalon Solist X Bourbon.
Yeah, what do you think of it?
I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
Definitely drinkable.
I think it's possible that there could be like a mix of casks here. Like I think it's more toward the sherry side, but based on the color, I would say that there could be a couple ex bourbons mixed in there. But the nose indicates that there's not very much, or that the sherry is dominating for sure.
That it is a blend. It's 100% from sherry casks.
100% from sherry casks, and it is a blend. You said.
Yep.
Interesting. It's throwing me off because, like, you get this minerality that could be from one region of Scotland, and then you get some like dominant Highland quality to it as well. All right, I'm going to say it's a Compass Box just because I know that you have a lot of Compass Box, but I don't know which one it would be. It would probably be either maybe the General, or no, it wouldn't be the General because you said that that's finished in sherry. So I'm not sure.
It's a Circus, Compass Box Circus.
Ah, all right. Well, that's absolutely delicious stuff, man.
And I think that was limited. That was 2,400 bottles of that.
Wow.
It's all from refill sherry butts, but there's grain Scotch in there and malt Scotch as well.
Okay.
49%, no coloring added, of course, non-chill filtered.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's amazing stuff. I can see why people go bonkers for this. That's definitely the best Compass Box I've tried so far.
Oh yeah, I almost agree. Yeah.
Well, I haven't tried as many as you. I have the Enlightenment the Enlightenment, and I have Hedonism here. And I've tasted Peat Monster, but this trumps those guys for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is a really good whiskey for sure. Awesome. Well, thank you for that one.
Uh-huh.
All right, you're up. I'm gonna write it.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Well, okay, yeah, let me minimize my chat. I'll tell you, I only sent Rob 2 samples and he sent me 3, so I'm 1 ahead. But the next sample we haven't reviewed, and so you don't have any idea. You won't. I mean, if you try to think back of stuff we've reviewed and what it might be, you're gonna be hurting yourself. And moving on to my sample number 2, just by the color of it, it's very sherry influenced, where there's a lot of E150 in there. Or it's a bourbon, but it looks like a sherry, more of a red tint. Woo! Oh, yeah. Sherry. Dark Oloroso. Figs and plums.
I think you're gonna like this one.
Me and you have got to get together someday, Rob.
I think so. I think we have.
Woo! Well, I don't even want to drink it. I just want to nose this one.
This one is gonna surprise a lot of people. I haven't reviewed this one either, so.
Was the color coming through? Could you guys see that, how dark it is?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of comments coming in through that about the color.
All right, good. Oh yeah, just nice. Bunch of spice in there as well. Whew. All right, I'm going in for a sip on this baby. Mmm. Mmm. Oh, that's delicious. I'm going to go. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Oh, you know what, though? I just got a real nice, like a kind of a lemon, along with those dark fruits. A nice little lemon meringue pie just popped in there with it, and raspberries. All the dark Oloroso fruits. Which some of that could be maybe from a little PX finishing as well. Boy, that's my cup of tea right there. That's older, possible single, could possibly one of the Glendronach's single cast series, something along those lines. Little bit higher, not real high in the ABV. Very rich, astringent. I mean, it's in the 50s or close.
Yeah, you're very close.
Yeah.
This is another one that's not easy. Like, it's not an easy one. I didn't send you very easy ones. Easy to drink, just not so easy to drink.
Well, maybe this is the Gordon MacPhail you was just telling me about. You said it was pretty close to a Glendronach.
I did.
Yeah, this is and I'd put this older as well. This is 20 years. I'm guessing exclusively matured in Oloroso and or PX, mainly Oloroso.
Okay, so this is where it gets tricky. It's a wine cask, but it's neither of those.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
the next obvious one would be, what would you think?
Well, it's carrying a lot of Oloroso characteristics. It brought some berries through in that lemon. Port would be a lot lighter, I would think.
It's a port.
Oh, is it? That's amazing. There is. That's really good. And that lemon meringue just jumped right out at me at one point, and like the raspberries, which made me think more PX finishing.
Yeah, no, actually, those two tasting notes are very common with port, actually. And I think tonight we broke a record. I don't know if I've ever hit 70 before, 70 viewers, but we're sitting on 70 right now, so that's pretty awesome.
Very nice. Well, hey, if you didn't tune in, let's hit on Lloyd again real quick.
Yeah,
those that weren't here,
because we got 71.
If you're hitting a record, at the first we talked about, if you watched Bubba and the Beard reviews, they split up. Lloyd went off on his own, rebranded the channel, became Getting Weird with the Beard. He recently lost his home to fire. I mean, burnt to the ground. The only stuff he has left is whatever he had in his truck, which is like all of his underwear.
Yeah.
I don't know why he keeps all of his underwear in his truck, but he does. So we want to help Lloyd out. If you want to help Lloyd, he's taking PayPal donations, and he's not even going to like us bringing this up. Right. The dummies sent him some money. I know, Rob, you sent him some money. Make a donation, lfink27@gmail.com. PayPal, lfink27@gmail.com. He can use all the help we can give him.
Yeah, and he's too polite to ask, but he really could use the help, I think. And a couple bucks will go a long way, guys. So quick shout out to Amy in the chat. We got Wesley. What's going on? I don't think I missed too many people. Duncan, how's it going, brother? Dan E's in the house. He has yet to make up. Okay, so be honest with me. Is Dan E Bart's alias?
No, no. Dan E is out on the East Coast.
Okay, cool.
I mean, Bart has met Dan E actually. So.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cobra Jet Joe's in the house. I think I said Dwayne earlier, but if I didn't, what's up, brother? Thomas Buck. We're sitting around 70. It's popping up to 72, going down to 68. We're doing well tonight. I want to welcome everybody. If you're just tuning in, we're doing a little bit of a blind face-off. I sent some samples over to Scott. He sent some samples over to me, along with each other's hats. I'm wearing the Scotch Test Dummies hat, and he's wearing a Whiskey in the Six hat.
This is a good-looking hat, by the way.
Yeah, I like mine too, actually. I said I really would. I love this symbol, and I would love a helmet, like a gladiator helmet. I would wear it on Halloween. I would wear it on a couple of my reviews. I think it would be great.
All right, well, it's time for the reveal. What am I drinking? What's sample number 2?
So sample number 2, and I'm a real prick for sending you another Cavalon, but
good.
It's another Cavalon exclusive to the. And the reason why I sent you these is because I know it's going to be difficult for you to pick these up because they were only available to the Cava fan group, and literally the guy that knows probably just as much as anybody that works at Cavalon, except for maybe the master distiller, picks these batches. So it's one cask at a time. This one has 204 bottles total. So this is bottle number 147. They're sold out. I was lucky enough to pick this up in a trade with Jeremy. He was on my channel the other night. He's one of the members. I'm one of the members as well. I didn't get around to buying one of these at the time, so I ended up getting it in a trade. And this one, the first one that you chose, or that you tried, sorry, has only 142 bottles. And they're both old for Cavalons. This one, I think, the ex-bourbon is around 9 years old. I think it's just over 9 years old. And the ex-port is just over 8 years old. So both pretty old for Cavalon standards.
Well, and I'll tell you, I mean, honestly, the depth of the sherry or the port that's in this, it came off as, I've had some samples of some 20-year-old Glendronachs, very close to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly, like, I mentioned earlier that, and I didn't want to go into too much detail, that this Bal Blair 1993 is one of the best single casks I've ever had. The only one that's rivaled it so far and that I hold neck and neck is that port that you just tried. Like, they're incredible in my opinion. So.
No, and I know most of those Cavalon Solus are 2 1/4, somewhere in that range at least. Now, I buy that every day for 2 1/4. That's delicious.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, the problem with the standard port Solus release is that they're a lot younger for the most part. You bugger, Keith. All right, so Keith has been bugging me for weeks. He feels bad about not being able to send me samples. And he said he was going to hit me with a super chat. Keith is from the Malted Man Cave, guys. If you haven't subscribed to him, please do so like immediately. He's one of the most generous guys you'll ever meet, and he just super chatted me way too much money. He had a blast hanging out, he's saying, and yeah, we arranged for some samples. And you know what, buddy? You didn't have to do that. I really appreciate it. I've been trying to convince him not to do that for about a week and a half now, and he went and did it anyway. But I love the guy. So please, guys, go subscribe to his channel. He's a super nice guy.
And he was in Teen Beat magazine when he was like 17.
That's true. He was a supermodel at one point, guys.
Yeah, he was. At some point, exactly. All right. Well, are you moving on to your sample number 2?
I'm on sample number 2.
Okay. You got your chat minimized?
1 sec. Let me just...
I'm going to finish drinking the Cavalon Port while you are doing this one.
Yeah.
And are you minimized? I can't see.
I'm minimized. We are at 72 viewers. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm about to smell and taste a blind sample sent by...
Hold on. Let me get this out to him before you give any notes or anything.
All right. Cool. Man, this one's going to be tough because I know that you guys have a ton of peated whiskey.
Okay, they've got it.
Okay, so peat right off the hop. But as it sat in the glass, it started to kind of like taper off. It's not as intense, the peat. And what's coming through in like mounds is lemon. Now, I'm at a disadvantage here because you recently picked our... Well, I don't want to say it actually because I don't want to spoil anything. I want people to go watch your peat shootout because it was awesome, every single episode. But there's a couple that I haven't tried in that peat shootout that I have been meaning to get around to. This
is one we have not reviewed, and you have not seen this on our channel.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so yeah, I think you did mention that.
And I'll tell you, the peat in it, the amount of peat in it surprised me.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm really impressed by this Cavalon Port cask. If I see this, and how old? When was this one released?
This was just released, and it's only available if you join us. You don't have a Facebook, but you should pick up a Facebook account.
We do, but Bart runs it, and he's not very good at it.
All right. Well, get Bart to join the Cava fan group, and then join the Cava fan. I'll invite him to the Cava fan VIP group. So that's only like I think it's about 100 people or something like that. So. Okay, so this is definitely peated.
Well, and for those that are tuning in, if you didn't see, I just chatted out a little bit earlier what Rob is sampling. Now, I only sent him 2 samples, but he sent me 3. So he's on his second. I've done 2. I still have 1 more to go.
So this has some kick to it, but you don't need a drop of water. It's super smooth. It's tasty. Get a little bit of powdered sugar, lemon for sure. And you do get that barbecue type smokiness. It's not really medicinal at all. I feel like it could be like a Port Charlotte, but it's not. No, it's not peaty enough to be a Port Charlotte.
Well, and Travis is watching, and I'll tell you that Cavalon, that really is very similar, very close to some of the single cask Glendronachs that I've had.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I would say that based on the ones that I've tried, and I haven't tried very many. I've only tried about 3 or 4 Glendronach. single casks. I find single casks do a little bit better if they're not too old. But I really like that one that you're drinking there.
Yeah, very good. Well, I'll tell you, that's a single cask that you're drinking right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I mean, how old do you think? Look at the by the color of it. How old do you think it is?
Based on the color and the taste, I'm gonna say that. Man, it's got to be at least 10 years old. But Octomores have thrown me through a loop, so I'm.
It's not an Octomore, like you said. You almost went with Port Charlotte, but then you said there's not enough peat. You're right.
Yeah, there's not enough peat. I'm gonna say it could be a Kalila, and it could be like a G&M Kalila or something like that. And from the sounds of like the hint that you just gave me, it's younger than I would think. So probably maybe like one of those special bottlings around 8 or 9. Maybe it's even a Bunnahabhain at around that. But Bunnahabhain is rarely that peated.
No, it's older.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say it tastes older, but
it does. It doesn't look it. When I bought that bottle, I thought I got ripped off.
No, I mean, it's delicious. It's absolutely delicious stuff, and I would say that ABV is closer to 50 as well, and the fact that it's older, it's probably a lot older in my guess than I would think. What threw me off is when you mentioned the age, because I was thinking old, and then when you said that, I started thinking how young like an Octomore is and how old it can actually taste.
Right. No, that one has enough richness in it. I think it comes off on the palate. When I bought it and I judged it by the color of it, I thought, oh, I just got ripped off. Until when I tasted it, I was like, oh no, it's all there.
No, this is delicious.
That's a 20-year-old whiskey.
Oh wow. Man, this is the nose alone is I can just smell this forever. I want to say it's definitely coastal. It doesn't have to be Isla. Actually, I'm leaning more toward like something in like the Talisker area, maybe even like Springbank-ish. You stumped me, man. I'm gonna say this is higher ABV. I know there's some peat in there. I'm gonna say that's bourbon cask influence. Definitely a Scotch, but I could be wrong there as well. It could be well, no, it's 20 years old, so it's definitely a Scotch. All right, you stumped me. What is it?
It's a 20-year-old Scotch. It's from a refill ex-bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's picked up. So it had bourbon in it. It's had Scotch in it, and it's been refilled with Scotch a third time. So that's why after 20 years, it hasn't drawn very much color.
Yeah. Springbank.
That's a Springbank 20-year-old ex-refill bourbon at 51.6%. Yeah, and look at the color. When I bought, my liquor store called me and they said, we can get one bottle of this if you want it. And they kind of gave me a price range, and I said, yeah, okay, I'll try it for that. And when I got there, it was a little bit higher than what I thought.
Yeah.
This was $320.
Wow. Yeah, they ain't cheap.
So since I told them I was like, well, okay, I'll take it. But I was like, man, that's pretty pale for a 20-year-old. I was like, I think I just got ripped off. Oh, no.
Oh, no, you definitely. I might have to put in some money for the rest of that bottle. That's delicious stuff. Man.
Yeah, like I say, and I was like, man, I got ripped off. And then I think I sat on it for about a month, and finally I cracked it. And I was just like, oh, my God. Yeah, it's good.
It's phenomenal. It's fantastic. What's the ABV on this one?
51.6.
Wow.
Single cask, and like I say, ex bourbon refill. So refill ex bourbon.
Wow.
Yeah. And Claire is in here. He's watching, but he's picked up. They also do like an ex-sherry cask.
Yeah, the fresh sherry. Claire has that fresh sherry that I've been eyeing for.
I know.
Claire, why don't we all meet up somewhere north of the border?
That was good though, no, because it's Springbanks they're just lightly peated. And what surprised me on that one was after 20 years of aging, the amount of peat that's still in there, because it is a little higher than normal.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're right. It's about like a Talisker, maybe a Kalila.
Yeah.
About a 15 to 20 ppm, somewhere in there. But it melds so well with that 20 years of aging in the wood and the fruity, the lemon characteristics and citrus that comes out with it.
Yeah, I'm glad I mentioned Springbank right at the end there, because
yeah,
I'm gonna call up the chat one more time now.
Yeah. I don't know that I would have guessed Springbank though, blind, just because of the amount of peat that's there.
That told me it could be Springbank is when you said it's a 20-year-old single cask, and it's peated. I'm like, okay, if that's a 20-year-old single cask from Isla, that's a $2,000 bottle. If it's a single cask that tastes like this, and it's not an Octomore, it has to be some sort of like barbecue type style peat, and it had to have been like the Talisker or the Springbank, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I was lucky, but I also am lucky enough to have tried the 12-year-old cast strength recently to kind of give myself a little bit of a one-up.
Yeah, we got Plaza liquor store here in town. They've been getting some good stuff in. They're trying to get me the 12 cask strength from Springbank this year. So
the 12 cask strength is, in my opinion, the best 12-year-old there is.
Well, that, and then there's a Bunnahabhain 14-year PX cask that's out now. It's hit the States everywhere but Kansas, I think.
Oh, really?
So also, they're trying to get that one in as well.
I would love to see that. That one probably would be incredible. John Post just joined us, or maybe he's been in for a while. I just haven't been paying attention. We got Jeremy from Toronto Whiskey Society. Jeremy's a super knowledgeable guy. He was on my channel recently. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that live last week. Mark Hakana. I probably butchered his last name. Sorry, buddy. Amy, I said Amy earlier, but Amy always surprises me when she's in the chats because she finds us somewhat entertaining, surprisingly. And
yeah. She doesn't drink whiskey.
She doesn't drink. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, so I love it. I love that she comes and joins because it's just cool having her. She's the 0.06% female watcher base that I have. I don't have
everybody check out Eric Waite, and he's in here commenting. Eric with a K.
That's right. Yeah.
He gets really pissed off if you use a C, so don't do that. It's like the Hulk. Like, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. But he's pointing out he's going to do a live stream on his channel this weekend, and he's going to do a matching donation for all the super chats that come in for Lloyd, who lost his house in the fire this Sunday. A Whiskey Church live show, but that's on his channel, Eric Waite. So look up his channel if you haven't.
Yeah,
and that's a great gesture as well.
Absolutely, that's awesome of Eric to do that.
Yeah,
super kind.
Well, he says up to $1,000. He wants to cap it.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Got to be somewhat reasonable. I just want to give a couple more shout outs really quick. We got Christopher Molly. What's up, brother? And P Boss, Paulo's been on my channel. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it. It was when I did the 4 or 5, I'm not sure, Cognac XOs. He's a really super cool guy. So he's in the chat as well. You're going to move on to your third whiskey, yeah?
I was trying to drink some water and cleanse my palate here. I'm going to chomp some ice here for a second, too.
Absolutely. Go for it. Someone was mentioning the Bunnahabhain PX that you tried earlier, or that you want to try, sorry, that you want to pick up. Basically saying it was good. I just far back.
Yeah. I've been hearing great things about it.
Yeah. All right. And Is your chat minimized?
Yep.
Okay. So the last one that you have on your end is, and I'm not going to say it out loud, although I almost did.
Again, this one has a great color. It's not quite as rich, not quite as dark as sample number 2, which was the Cavalon Solist Port, but still a nice rich color on this one.
Mark from Whiskey Whistles in the house. He also has an awesome show. He does whiskey reviews. If for those of you that don't know, I'm sure many of you do. He's saying, I wonder if you talk about hashtag Me Too for a while. I missed that because it went up now.
I was going to say, sometimes he does whiskey reviews while he's driving his kids to the hospital.
He's Canadian, so we tend to do some crazy things like that. So
this is nice as well. This is a Scotch series somewhere in that line. Sherry base, sherry finished.
Loch Ness is in the house. We got Tuxedo Malfunction. I don't know if I've seen you before in the chat. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, people are commenting about the sample.
Kind of a mintiness.
Yeah, I could definitely.
Maltiness. The nose isn't coming off real strong, but I mean a little bit higher. Just by the nose, around 50.
Claire the Third is telling you to savor this one.
That must mean it's good. All right, I'll go in for my first sip. Just a sherry finishing on this one, probably. Bourbon cask and sherry cask. Rich honeys. Citrus. Aged. Look, at first, real astringent. Really sucked out some moisture from my cheeks. Sherry notes, cinnamons, caramels, vanillas. Looking for peat or smoke. I don't get any yet. Very nice mouthfeel. Nice finish. Hangs in there. Really has some Balvenie notes along those lines, just from the honeys and the citrus that's with it. Actually kind of reminiscent of like my Ton 1509. Good. I'm going to add just a drop of water to it. 50 to low 50s on the ABV. Whoop, gosh darn.
Yep, you're bang on there.
Well, that's the first thing I'm bang on.
No. You're actually right on pace for this one. Like the only thing that I'll say is it's not about Vinny.
Yeah.
But everything else was.
That was actually that was the first thing that came to mind with it, just from the honeys and the citrus that I got in with the sherry. It's just a sherry finish, though. It's not one of those that's exclusively matured.
So this one is actually exclusively matured, which is I can totally see what you're saying, but it surprised me too.
If it's exclusively matured, then it's probably a little bit younger. I would hazard a guess.
This one's 25 years old.
Oh. Okay. Well, then it's reminding me because I've had a sample in the past of like the Glengoyne 25.
Okay. So you're pretty much right there. It's the Glendronach 25.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's this bad boy right here.
Uh-huh.
I'm about halfway, just over halfway down the bottle. And when I first tried this, I was pretty disappointed because a lot of the things that you're picking up subtly were way more prominent. And then recently I was tasting a bunch of things to see what I was going to send to you. And I'm like, wow, that's really improved. I wonder what Scott would think blind. And I'm glad that you said all the things that you said, because I don't think people would have believed me if you didn't do that. So,
yeah.
So that's kind of why I sent also a third one, because I wanted to make sure that you got this one as well. And I wanted to make sure that you really enjoyed two before you had this one.
And even though you've said it's a 25-year-old and it's exclusively matured, it does not come off as that. It's very good. I like it. It's very rich.
Yep.
I think the age shows, but it seems more double casked. It seems more bourbon cask with a sherry finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's what threw me off as well about it, is that everything I've come to know and expect from a Glendronach, it did not have, So yeah, and Travis Faircloth is asking underwhelming. If I would have told you that's a $900 bottle or a $700 bottle, would you believe it? Probably not, right?
Let me go just back right here to the Cavalon port. The Cavalon port was really richer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's crazy because it's a fraction of the price, and it's a fraction of the age too. It's only about 8.5 years old. So.
Boy, oh yeah, side by side, I would take that Cavalon port cask every day.
Yeah, any day. Me too. Me too.
Woo! So you can go ahead and send some more samples of that Cavalon port cask to me.
Absolutely, I will.
That Glendronach is good. It came off as like maybe a 25-year-old Balvenie.
Yeah.
Or maybe the 20. Well, I don't even remember that much about, because I just had a sample of the 25 Glengoyne. It's good. It's very rich, but it comes off more as a double casking. The sherry in it is very light.
So tonight we have a Tom R and a Tom Rhodes in the chat. That's pretty interesting. I think one's from the US and one's from Scotland, though. I mistake them for the same person at one point, because I believe they have the same last name, just spelled differently.
Ah. All right, I'm back in. I got my chat pulled up now.
Robert Gilmore. I don't think I've seen Robert Gilmore in the chat before. Late to the party, Rob. Your opinion on Deleuze XO or Hennessy XO? I'm going to say Deleuze XO every day. It's a lot cheaper, and it's just as good, if not better.
Which one? Go Habs is asking, how does it compare to the 21 Parliament? Which one? Go Habs? Or both of them? Or the Glendronach 25?
The 25.
I'll go grab my 21 Parliament because it's right there. I love it. It's about gone. It was my Christmas bottle. Fastest Christmas bottle I've ever drained.
Yeah, I'm going to say that the 18-year-old Allardyce is better than that 25-year-old, in my opinion.
I'll tell you both. The 18-year-old Allardyce and the 21 Parliament they are hard to beat. They are delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to pour myself something else. You poured yourself a little bit more of that Portwood, right? Maybe I'll join you with the Portwood.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with a little bit more of the Glendronach, just because it's a little bit lighter in the ABV. Yeah, it is. It's good on the palate. It's very pleasing.
Well, they're not far off on a. Well, yeah, they are actually. I lied. The ABV on the port is 58.6.
Yeah, and which one was the what's the name of the Glendronach?
The 25-year-old Grandeur.
Grandeur? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I went back and forth, when I went to that one, I could tell the difference in the ABV.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But the thing is, though, the richness. When I tasted that blend, I would have swore that was a 20-year-old single cask Glendronach. You know, with a high ABV. The richness and the amount of sherry or the port that's coming through in it.
Mm-hmm. Chris, Santa Cruz and Chris just came in with his real YouTube name. Thought I mentioned that.
GoHabs is asking if the Glendronach 25 is better than the Parliament 21. Let me grab my Parliament 21 and I'll go.
There you go.
Check them.
Tamar is saying, I am taking Friday off work. I missed the conversation earlier. Does that mean that Thursday is a good drinking day? Tom? Snups plug join. Ian Holmes is one of the many that have joined Snups. Guys, honestly, it's really cool. I think you guys should check it out if you haven't already. It's fun to share our collections on that. That's for sure. H. Empil. Not sure. I've seen you in the chat before, buddy. What's up?
Hoyt Hemphill. Yeah, he's been in quite a few of ours.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. All right, so I love the Glen. This is my Christmas bottle of the Glendronach 21. And usually my Christmas bottles, I milk them out because they're good. You know, I want them to last.
Yeah.
This one is so good. I've had a hard time not drinking it. And this will be the fastest kill of a Christmas bottle I've had. And I'll order another one from Masters of Malt or Whiskey Exchange as soon as they start shipping to Kansas again.
Wait, saying hello to us both. And Jay Fretless just joined as well. Dram Dude's in the house. We've been hovering over 60 the entire night, which is pretty great. We just hit 11 o'clock my time, so 10 o'clock your time, excuse me.
Well, and Travis just points out I do need the 18 Allardyce as well.
You do?
I haven't had that one. I mean, I've had samples of it. I do need to get a bottle as well.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably my favorite Glendronach right now.
I have there's so many bottles on the list. Come on, it's a tough. I mean, it's a tough world out there. There's so many good whiskeys.
It's hard to keep up. The problem is that it's hard to get to review them as well. Like we don't get to them in time. They just sit on the shelf for a while.
God, that 21 Parliament is so good. Yeah, that. And I just had the Glendronach Grandeur on my palate before I went to it.
No competition, right?
No.
That port is excellent, though. Man, at 58.
It is.
Like, you can literally drink that without even blinking at 58 point whatever percent.
The 25 Grandeur is good, but even next to the 21 Parliament.
Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. And a couple of guys thought that I may have had like a dud bottle or whatever, but it's not bad enough to think that it's a fake or something like that. It's still good, but it's just not as good as what you would expect from a 25-year-old Glendronach.
I'm pretty sure I'm putting the 21 Parliament is the top of my sherry list.
Interesting.
Even above the Balvenie Ton 1509 Batch 3.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? I think because I had to split my Parliament with 4 other guys, I didn't let it sit long enough to experience it from start to finish over a few months. So I think my experience is a little tainted with the Parliament, whereas like it could have been much better after some time. I do love it. I think it's like a high A plus, but I don't know. I still think that the 18 Allardyce is a bit better in my opinion.
What I just went to that Cavalon Port Solus though, and it's just as good.
It's so rich. It's rich.
It is really. I'm putting it ahead of the Grandeur, the Glendronach Grandeur, and I'm putting it right there with the 21 Parliament.
Yeah, it's the best port that I've ever had. I've never had a port that good, in my opinion.
The 21 Parliament is a little bit more palatable just because the ABV isn't as high.
Right. It's a 10-point difference.
Yeah. But also keep in mind, like that Cavalon Port Solus, you're talking $200 and some dollars. I ordered this on Masters of Malt for $120, and with shipping, it came out as like $160.
True.
Delivered to me.
That's a very valid point. Simple Diversion just jumped in. You had them on your channel recently. They're really cool guys. I speak to them quite frequently. I just recently bought a shirt. Hopefully I get that soon. It's somewhere in the mail. Eventually it'll get there. Yeah, I love this. This Cavalon Port is pretty ridiculous.
That is. It really is.
I've had the sherry, the Oloroso Sherry Cavalon Solist, and I liked it a lot. And especially at first I really liked it, but as I continued with it, it gave me too many, I want to say savory flavors that I wasn't really digging at the time. Like if I'm wanting savory, I'll go with a peated finish or a peated type whiskey. But that Cavalon Solus Oloroso had a little bit too much like curry powder and like cumin and those kinds of flavors that I wasn't digging too much.
Yeah, just kind of sitting here going back and forth. The 25-year-old Glendronach Grandeur, which like what is like $800, $900 bottle, it's coming in third place.
Yeah,
and that Cavalon Port Solist is right there with the Glendronach 21.
What about that X bourbon? What did you think of that?
That's very good too. I mean, it's completely different than these others.
Mm-hmm.
And I had seen that one. It's been a while. I'd seen that ex-bourbon Solist cask here in the $200 range.
Yep.
And I bought it for $200. I wouldn't have been disappointed in that at all either.
Yeah. And
well, no, matter of fact, I can go back. That one I can remember was like 160, 170 when I
I think you can probably get that one closer to like the 150 range, maybe a little bit more than that. The only thing is I believe this is the oldest ex-bourbon Solus that they've released so far. The problem with Cavalon, much like Amaru, is that their angel share is like ridiculous. So you're getting in the port. What did I say earlier? There was only 204 bottles out of an entire barrel, and then the ex-bourbon was only 142 bottles. Can you imagine that out of an entire barrel?
Yeah.
So the angel is a killer.
All right, so I pulled out. I have the Cavalon Solus Vino Barrique.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
When I bought this was when I saw the Solus bourbon barrel. So I just have 2 or 3 ounces left. Let's go to see how it's even matching up with these others.
So while Scott's pouring that, if you guys enjoyed this, there's about 60 people in the chat. Click the like button because that kind of gives me an indication as to whether or not I should do more types of lives like this. I know you guys are too nice to actually tell me to stop doing this kind of stuff in the chat, but that like button will really give me the indication that you guys want to see more of these blind challenges back and forth. I've had a lot of fun tonight. I don't know about you, Scott. I don't want to speak for you, but
that was definitely good. I like that, the blind challenge. That was good.
Yeah. And I mean, like a bunch of people are doing the entire single blind challenge. The Malted Man Cave did one with, well, Roy has his active set list, and I believe if people haven't watched it, I'm not going to share who's getting it next. But check out the Malted Man Caves video because he tells you guys who's getting it next, and it's going to be really exciting. Each one that he does is really awesome, in my opinion. So I think you guys should check it out.
Yeah, actually, it's me.
Yeah. Well, I wanted them to watch Keith's video. That's why I didn't say anything. Daniel from Whiskey Throttle saying that this was awesome. Eric saying whatever camera you're using tonight, you need to stick with it. It's not the camera, believe it or not, it's the computer. The computer that I was using before this, whenever I have to invite somebody to a chat, I can't use my phone. My phone has 4K camera capabilities, but I have a 1080p camera that my nephew gave to me, and unfortunately, with the computer that I have from back in the day when my wife bought it in university, we bought it probably, I don't know, I want to say 12 years ago. It's a MacBook Pro, but it's ancient. It's the first silver MacBook Pro, and it's old. So it doesn't even, like the video card or whatever, the graphics card, I'm not sure exactly what it is, can't use the camera to its full potential. But I borrowed my computer from work. I brought it home, and this is a lot better. So I will stick with this one from now on.
All right, so I've gone to the Cavallon Solus, the Vino Barrique, and that port cask finish kicks its ass.
Really?
Oh yeah,
that's good to know because I love the Vino Barrique, but I agree. I think this port cask is the best Cavallon Solus I've tried, and I've tried the Manzanilla, I've tried the Amontillado, I've tried the PX, I've tried the Oloroso and the Vino Barrique and the ex bourbon. So I pretty much tried them all except the Moscato or whatever it's called, and this is by far the best one I've tried.
They're all good. The Vino Barrique actually comes off with a lot sweeter, a lot lighter sherry.
Yep.
That port Solus though is so rich. It really, and I confused it. I would have thought it was an Oloroso sherry, maybe a combination with a PX finish.
Yeah, definitely easy to.
And it's right in there with the Glendronach 21 Parliament though. Yep.
Yeah, the Parliament's great, and it's just going to get better because it's getting older every year according to that scale. So I got to rebuy the Parliament and do a re-review, I think, because I recently rebought I was gifted a bottle of Glengoyne 21-year-old from the Glengoyne distillery because I did a private marketing video for them. They sent me a bunch of questions, and I answered the questions in a video. I edited it for them, and then I sent it off. And as a gift for doing that, they sent me the 21-year-old, and that version of the 21-year-old
very good, Rob.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. That version of the 21-year-old is actually, in my opinion, a lot better than the first time I tried the 21-year-old. I love the 18-year-old. I love pretty much anything from Glengoyne, but that 21-year-old now, I think I need to re-review it because it's phenomenal stuff.
Yeah. And you talked about the Glendronach 21, and you just had like a fourth of the bottle. Even when I opened that on Christmas Day and had it, it was delicious. I thought it was good. Yeah. And it's the same, or it has gotten better since.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you need to kind of, okay, so there you go. So some of them change with time, but I guess that you're suggesting that it hasn't changed much. Well, we have hit the 11:11 mark. I think although we have 56 in the chat, they're probably welcoming their bed right about now. We all have to work in the morning. Scott, I'm going to get you to stay on the line. Before I let everybody go, why don't you quickly tell us what's going on with the Scotch Test Dummies, the Scotch Test Dummies in the next little while.
So we just got done filming the March Peat Madness. 16 bottles of peat. We went through 4 brackets of 4. We picked out individually, Bart and I, our best from each bracket. They advanced into a championship. So we did that. We had a lot of recommendations. A lot of people say, hey, you did those 16, but you didn't have A, B, C, D in there. You didn't have this one. You didn't have that one. Well, what about this one? So a second 16 bottle peat shootout is coming up. We've titled it The Peat Strikes Back. There'll be another 16 bottles. We got Taliskers in there. We got other Lafroigs, Ardbegs, Lagavulins, other ones we didn't have in the first 16 bottles. We're going to take the best of that bracket and we're going to pair it up against the best from the first shootout. So we'll have the second 16 bottle coming up. We'll take the best 8 from it. We'll pair it up against the best 8 from the first bracket for a third shootout, 16 bottle, the best 8 from the best 16, and we'll see who wins. I have a hunch my Ardbeg Dark Cove is going to prevail.
Yeah, honestly, I really need to get a bottle of that Ardbeg Dark Cove. For whatever reason, the committee releases never make it to Ontario. Or honestly, I don't think I've ever seen them in Alberta either. So they just don't come to Canada, which kind of sucks. But like, I really want to try some Ardbeg committee release. That was the committee release, right? The Dark Cove that you.
Yeah. Both are good. The regular release and the committee release. I like the committee release better. I'm not sure where Bart stands, but he keeps bringing up the regular release. He wants to have it in the next one. And I'm like, no, the Dark Cove was already represented by the committee release. We got enough recommendations. We need to have the others in there. So,
yeah. Well, what you should do is maybe do a separate head-to-head and then figure out which one's better there and then do.
Well, I think we did. When we did our review, I think we pulled them both out and looked at both.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure anyway. But anyway, back to when we first started the stream and midway, everybody was tuning in. We pointed out lfink27@gmail.com. That's Lloyd Fink, also known as The Beard from The Bubba and the Beard, or Getting Weird with the Beard. He recently lost his home and all of his belongings, everything, to a fire. If you can make a donation at PayPal, Lloyd lfink27@gmail.com, help him out. This is March 20th, 2018. If this is 2019 or 2020 and you're watching this, you might be well past the
need for the money, but
the need for the money. Exactly. Yeah.
But if you guys can, honestly, even a couple bucks, I'm sure he would really appreciate it. He'll never ask. He's the most humble guy. You can also go subscribe to his channel. It's Getting Weird with the Beard. Super nice guy. There was a bunch of people from the Whiskey Tube tonight. We all are planning something to help out Lloyd because his like Scott said, his house burnt down. Nobody wants to be in that situation, especially when every single one of your belongings is pretty much in that house. So if you guys get a chance, check out that PayPal, even if it's a couple bucks. I'm sure a couple bucks goes a long way when it's all added up together, right? So
that's right. It's like the cost of a cup of coffee an hour.
Yeah,
you can donate.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, Scott, I want to thank you very much for finding a way to get me those samples, getting me this, sending me this hat in the mail, and joining my channel tonight. I think our viewers tonight had a great time. I definitely had a great time. That was a lot of fun. I didn't make myself look too silly by some of the guesses that I had, so I'm happy with it. And I got to try some awesome whiskey. So I really thank you for coming on tonight.
I think you did good with what I sent you. And I mean, what you sent me representative, I mean, I think I did a good job calling out the characteristics that were there.
Absolutely. I think you did a fantastic job. I mean, I sent you some like pretty challenging whiskeys, not stuff that you can get every day and not stuff that like is readily available. So you did an awesome job in my opinion.
Yeah, and it was good. I loved it. And we should do this more often, actually.
Yeah, I think so. I think this will be definitely a frequent thing. I think we can pull that off. I have a lot of empty Tuesdays coming up, so let me know when you're available. All right, guys, thank you very much. Guys, I really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. You guys are all awesome. Every single person that was in the chat tonight, you guys have a special place in my heart because you make this worth coming every day to talk to you guys, to review whiskey, to have some fun, because I'm having fun doing it, and it gives me an excuse to my wife when she sees all these people actually joining the chat and actually paying attention to what I have to say. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, thank you, Scott. Here's, guys.